go overnight. So you know what some women do? They fight at night because the sun is down anyway. The sun goes up, then the sun goes down. They have more time to be angry. That's also not very wise. But you got to work on it. You got to work on it. Veil sponsors. That I know we have. Can we have the veil sponsors, please? I want you to see something here. As the veil sponsors come up, we have Tony and Maan. The veil represents authority. As you know, the veil goes on the shoulder of the man, over the head of the woman. So there is one head exposed, not two. When you have two heads in a family, you have a monster. Or Siamese twins, whatever. But there should be only one head. There should be one vision for the family. When there are two visions or more, you have division. The prefix D or die means two. That's why there's division. There are two visions in the house. Cannot be. Must not be. One vision. Ladies submit, so they take on the vision of the man. That's why it is imperative for you single ladies to make sure you know what the vision of this boyfriend of yours is. Find out what that vision is. Where are you going? 10, 20 years from now, where will you be? What do you have in your mind? What are you dreaming? Because that's where you're going to take me. I want to make sure I know where you're going. Because I might not like the final address. And you become frustrated because you want to go to Ayala, Alabang, and he's going to Quiapo. And so you fight. One head, the other one willingly comes under that authority. That's what the veil talks about. And what's interesting also is that the veil is not made of steel. It's lace, or what do you call that material? Huh? Tool. Tool. The only tool I know is for cars. Okay, that's cool. It's a cool tool. Okay. And you notice it's easy to tear. You know why? Because the man cannot force the woman to submit. Neither can the woman legislate love. You're going to love me or else. You can't do that. It both must be done willingly. So the woman must work to keep herself lovely. And I'm not talking just physically, I'm talking about everything. Character is more important than physical looks. It's your character. You gotta keep yourself beautiful inside so that it becomes easier to love. But you also need to love her so it becomes easier for her to submit. That tool can be easily torn. Cord sponsors. We have the cord sponsors. Kyle and Kathy. They're about to put the noose, the cord. Sometimes it feels that way, no? Sometimes. Sometimes. I don't know what that feels like. I'm so in love with my wife, I have no idea what the noose is. The Bible says a threefold cord is not easily broken. When you invite Christ into your marriage, when you invite him to your wedding, when you invite him to your family, he becomes the glue that keeps you together. So even at times when it gets rough, he's there. He's there to help you make things work. He will not make it work for you. He needs your involvement. He needs your cooperation. He will tell you, forgive her, forgive him. He said, well, he started it, or she started it. And the Lord said, I don't care who started it. Make it right. With God, it doesn't matter who started the fight or who started the argument. What matters to him is who will start making it right. That's what will win the bogey points, if you can, with God. Not the one who starts it. Make it right. The cord is what keeps us together. The cord is harder to break. That's the power of God. It's harder to break. That's why the Bible says a threefold cord is not easily broken. But notice it uses the word not easily broken, which means it could still be broken. Just because you're believers does not mean that your marriage will automatically work. It won't. You leave it alone, you neglect it, it will break down. You gotta maintain, you gotta tune up, you gotta restore, you have to forgive. You need to go out of your way. I'm so amazed that Jesus, as I was meditating on these verses this week, the ones we saw in Ephesians 5, Jesus, you'll notice the Bible says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church, that He gave Himself for her, washing her by the water of the Word. Let me see what else. How else does it say? Gave Himself for her that He might gave Himself for her that He might sanctify and cleanse her with the washing water by the Word, that He might present her to Himself. Gentlemen, you work on your wife so you, not God, you can present her to yourself. A bride that is radiant, without spot or wrinkle or blemish. What does this say? Jesus came for basically one purpose. It's to look for a bride. He was looking for a wife. He came down and He did two things that submitted to that one desire, which is to look for a bride. It was to save some people who would become part of that bride, and to destroy the works of the enemy so that the bride would be a victorious bride. A bride that is unafraid of the enemy. A bride that is strong in her own right. Not a bride who is weak. A bride who is sick. A bride who is tired. A bride who is defeated or poor. But a bride who is equally strong. Submitted, yes, but strong nonetheless. A bride with a vision. A bride that loves, not passively, but proactively. He came for that one purpose, to look for a bride. And everything He did on earth was to build that bride. I can't see. Was to build that bride, develop that bride, seek out that bride, to the point of even dying for that bride, if necessary. And it was. Husbands, as Christ loved the church, your wife is more important than your business, than your job. She is your assignment. She is your number one assignment. Not your work, not your job, not your ministry, not your children. It's your wife. And until you accept that she is your first assignment, you run the risk of running the ship of your marriage aground. You build her up, you love her, you forgive her, you shower her with whatever you can afford to shower her with.